If nothing happens at 168, we're ready to go to 175, face Bivol or Beterbiev. So we're super excited for November 20th.
David Benavidez is ready to shake things up in a way nobody saw coming. After years of waiting for the golden ticket, a fight against Canelo, Benavidez decided to turn the page on that chapter and aim for a bigger target: the undisputed light heavyweight championship. The fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev is definitely one of the biggest fights in the sport, and by fighting the winner of this fight, Benavidez would probably gain more from the win than even a victory over Canelo. However,
I don't really like to bash somebody because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying.
Beterbiev is not impressed with the idea of Benavidez. Beterbiev responded to Benavidez's recent challenge with a calm but icy dismissal. "I see Benavidez just like any other opponent," Beterbiev said. "He's good, but not special. I believe Dmitry Bivol will be tougher than Benavidez."
You know, David wants to fight the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. But Nez, I'm going to be the first one to tell you this, but I know you're going to disagree with me. Nobody's beating Artur Beterbiev at 175, bro. Nobody. David to get his ass knocked out. Bivol is going to get his ass knocked out. And if Canelo want that smoke at 175, Canelo would get knocked out by Beterbiev. But Beterbiev is the best boxer at 170.
But I'm ready for whoever comes next. These words, understated but packed with the kind of confidence you'd expect from a man who has knocked out every opponent he's faced, stung Benavidez. Known for his explosive in-ring style and equally fiery attitude,
he said, "If I can't fight Canelo, maybe I'll go to 175 and fight Beterbiev." How did you respond when you heard that?
You know, when I'm focused for Callum Smith.
he didn't hesitate to fire back. "I respect Beterbiev as a fighter, but I'm that guy who actually knocks him out," Benavidez said. "I'll knock him out, and after that, I'll take down Bivol too." Benavidez is no stranger to bold claims, but this time,
a lot of boxers don't do this. This is why Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez beats him, and Benavidez becomes overnight a superstar? That's Canelo's letting Benavidez make a name off of him.
it feels different. This isn't just about bravado. Benavidez is a man on a mission, fueled by years of frustration and a desire to step out of Canelo's shadow. After all, he was once considered the biggest threat to Canelo's reign, but the long wait, politics,
Honest, I never see Benavidez fight, you know.
and Canelo's refusal to face him, unless a staggering $150 million payday was on the table, forced Benavidez to look elsewhere. For years, Benavidez has been at the top of the WBC super middleweight rankings.
Oh my goodness, sensational stuff. Benavidez, another left hook, followed by a right. A tremendous battle of women.
Waiting for a shot at Canelo Alvarez. But Canelo made it clear he wasn't interested in fighting Benavidez unless there was an astronomical financial incentive. This left Benavidez in limbo, waiting for a fight that seemed increasingly unlikely. However, Benavidez's decision to pursue light heavyweight gold is no retreat.
Who do you think is the biggest name after this fight that you could get in the ring with?
So what we're doing here, after I win the WBC interim title, we're going to be in line to fight for the WBC title. The owner of that title is Artur Beterbiev. So, you know, these are some tough fights. You know what I mean? There's no easy fight, especially at this weight class, but I believe 100% of my skills and my hunger, my dedication, and I know all that will overcome any opponent that comes in front of me.
It's a strategic move. He's taking control of his career and refusing to wait around for a payday that may never come. This was Benavidez's decision, said Samson Lukowicz, Benavidez's promoter. He doesn't want to lose any more time waiting for Canelo. He wants to create his own legacy. He will go down his own path without Canelo.
It's not, but with Benavidez it was good sparring. I can't say that something was not good. Now it's Canelo. He has belts. Of course, he's the best in 168. They need to prove it. They need to earn belts.
Now, let's be honest here. This is a path that could redefine Benavidez's career. Facing Bivol or Beterbiev is no small feat for Benavidez. He's moving up in weight, potentially facing two of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, and doing it all with the intention of capturing the light heavyweight crown.
I was on record saying that after his last performance at 175, if he fights one of the top guys in Beterbiev and Bivol at 175, I think he loses. I think he loses.
The October 12th bout between Beterbiev and Bivol is already being billed as a war. Beterbiev.
Bivol was to fight Benavidez. Without having seen this fight, I would have liked Bivol. I don't think that I like him more now because he's the naturally bigger guy. I think that Benavidez has shown me he fits right into the light heavyweight division. There's no problem with him having
a wrecking ball of a fighter with an impressive record is the most feared puncher in the division. On the other side is Bivol, a more calculated and technical fighter, undefeated, with the boxing IQ that dethroned Canelo in their 2022 fight. For Benavidez, who suffered a hand injury in his recent fight against Ronald Ellis.
And still I want to be a good boxer one day.
Is Dmitry Bivol a good boxer?
I don't know. I mean, it's my feeling. I feel I have space to improve.
The stakes are sky high. I've been in tough fights, but moving up to light heavyweight is different, Benavidez admitted. These guys hit harder. They're bigger, but that's what I want. I need a challenge. I need people to doubt me because that's when I'm at my best. He's confident that despite the odds, he'll make a mark in the division. Bivol is good, and Beterbiev hits hard. But I'm better than both of them. I'll knock them out, and I'll take those belts. They've never faced someone like me. Dmitry Bivol, the quiet storm of the light heavyweight division.
And you can see when Bivol throws the 1-2s like this, he is scoring.
Right hooks, overhand rights being landed by Canelo.
Look at him go! Oh my words!
Than really anyone I've seen
has always been a man who lets his actions speak louder than his words. As he prepared for his fight against Artur Beterbiev, the undefeated Russian champion took a moment to reflect on the growing shadow of David Benavidez. The Phoenix fighter may be known for his aggressive style and heavy knockouts, but what's becoming just as apparent is his relentless thirst to face the very best, something that has caught Bivol's attention.
I like Benavidez. I think he's a good fighter. How good? You know, Godzic is decent. You know, he's strong, old. I don't think Benavidez is a 175 fighter. I don't think he beats Beterbiev. I don't think he beats Bivol. But I think he's very hard to beat at 168.
Benavidez's move to challenge the winner of Bivol versus Beterbiev isn't just a bold declaration. It's a statement about his ambitions in the sport. He's not content with dominating just one division, and Bivol can see that. He's a great fighter, and what he's saying, that he wants to fight me and Beterbiev, it means that he's confident and he wants to achieve more, Bivol said during an interview. For Bivol, this kind of mentality resonates deeply. A fighter who continuously seeks challenges is one that earns respect in the ring.
Beterbiev and Benavidez, who do you think is the biggest challenge for you?
Oh, Beterbiev.
Beterbiev?
Yeah,
why is that?
Of course. Because he's a champion. He has something to offer me. He's strong. He's in another way. He's a lot of things. A lot of things.
And Benavidez has done just that. What makes this even more intriguing is Bivol's own mindset. While Beterbiev is widely feared for his terrifying knockout power and relentless pressure, Bivol's approach to boxing is cerebral, precise, and rooted in the art of technical mastery. Many are leaning toward Beterbiev as the favorite in their October 12th bout, largely due to his record of knocking out every opponent he has faced. But if there's one man who has the skills to unpick that raw power, it's Dmitry Bivol. Bivol's victory over Canelo Alvarez in 2022 left everyone surprised. It was the perfect illustration of how timing, precision, and strategy could overcome even the most powerful of opponents. But you can see when Bivol throws the 1-2s like this, he is scoring. Right hooks over, and a right being landed by Canelo. Look at him go. Oh my word. That was really something.
I've sparred Bivol a lot, yeah, so I know what happens in those sparring sessions, so yeah, I can beat him. I can knock him out. I feel like I have like 4 fights left at the super middleweight. The only reason I stayed along for so long because I wanted to make this fight happen for sure. And then since I'm already there, you know what I mean, I might as well just try to make these other big fights.
Now, Bivol is faced with another massive task, defeating the juggernaut that is Artur Beterbiev. But beyond that lies another significant challenge, Benavidez.
Who do you think poses the harder fight for you between Bivol and Beterbiev? Who presents the more difficult fight?
I think probably Beterbiev.
But it gets interesting from here. Bivol doesn't forget the past, especially when it comes to those crucial moments in the gym. He sparred with Benavidez before, and though sparring is a far cry from an actual fight, those sessions still offered a glimpse into what could happen if they eventually met in the ring.
Oh my God. Hooks uppercuts. Oh my goodness. Sensational stuff. Benavidez, another left hook, followed by a right. A tremendous battle of women's unloading. Benavidez says, okay, yeah.
I remember we had a couple of sparring sessions, Bivol said, reflecting on his time in the gym with Benavidez. There were good moments for both sides. There's a difference between sparring and fighting under the lights, of course, and Bivol acknowledges that. Sparring is often about testing new tactics.
The win against Bivol become undisputed. Would you move up to cruiserweight, or would you just stay at 75 and just?
It's interesting. I need to think about after.
What are you leaning towards? Cruiserweight, not cruiserweight leaning?
First cruiserweight and after heavyweight.
Working on specific skills and, as Bivol said, doing what your coach asks of you. But those rounds shared between them gave Bivol a sense of the hunger and determination that drives Benavidez. It's no longer just about winning for Benavidez. It's about dominating, and that's something Bivol respects. He wants to be dominant in 2 weight classes, Bivol said, referring to Benavidez's goal to rule both super middleweight and light heavyweight. It's not an easy task, especially considering the caliber of opponents in the higher weight class. The leap from 168 to 175 lbs is not merely a shift in weight. It's a jump into a world OTF harder hitters and more seasoned fighters, while staying out of danger. But as Bivol himself pointed out, sparring is one thing and fighting under the bright lights is another. Benavidez's relentless work rate in the ring might force Bivol into situations he hasn't encountered before. Would Bivol be able to keep up with the younger, more aggressive Benavidez for 12 rounds? That question will definitely be answered after we see how he deals with Benavidez. What makes this potential matchup so exciting is the unknown factor. Both men have attributes that could trouble the other. Bivol's technical brilliance could stymie Benavidez's aggression, but Benavidez's power and intensity might push Bivol out of his comfort zone. It's a fight where anything could happen.
What did you think about Artur Beterbiev's performance versus Anthony Yarde the other night?
I thought it was a really good performance, but he does leave himself open a lot. I feel like I could have a lot of success with him, and I would love to fight him in the future. He leaves his body open a lot, and he's really, you can really hit him a lot with combinations.
And that's what boxing fans live for. Despite the noise surrounding Benavidez's rise and Bivol's fearsome reputation, Bivol remains calm and collected. He's never been one for trash talk or theatrics. His confidence is quiet, but undeniable. I respect him as a fighter, Bivol said of Benavidez.
Stronger than your opponent.
These fights, they're won in the training camp. You can't reach that level of ferociousness and velocity if you don't train hard. I swear to God, my training camps are all 3 to 4 month training camps. That's going hard every single day. I can't let my fans down. I can't do a half-ass training camp and then I don't look like I'm supposed to look.
But he didn't elaborate much beyond that. For Bivol, respect is earned in the ring. And he knows that if he does face Benavidez, the respect will flow both ways through punches, counters, and the grueling test of wills. There's also a sense that Bivol relishes the opportunity to face someone like Benavidez, a fighter who isn't afraid to take risks and wants to fight the best. In an era where too many big fights get delayed or don't happen at all, Benavidez's willingness to challenge himself makes sense to Bivol, a man who has taken on and beaten Canelo Alvarez, the biggest name in the sport. First, though, Bivol has his hands full with Beterbiev, and he's not looking past that. He knows that Beterbiev's power is a different kind of challenge, one that could end a fight in a single moment. But if Bivol does emerge victorious, a showdown with Benavidez would be one of the most exciting matchups the sport could offer. And for Bivol, that's what it's all about. Proving yourself against the best time and time again. Whether it's Beterbiev or Benavidez, Bivol is ready to show the world what he's made of. As he said himself, it's good to fight fighters who want more. Benavidez has never been shy about expressing confidence, and as he eyes a move up to the light heavyweight division, his words carry the weight of a fighter who knows what he's capable of. When talking about a potential showdown with Dmitry Bivol, Benavidez makes no secret of his belief in his ability to not just beat Bivol, but to knock him out. I've sparred with Dmitry Bivol a lot, so I know what happens in those sparring sessions. Yeah, I could beat him. I can knock him out, David Benavidez boldly said. Benavidez's self-assuredness stems not just from a place of bravado, but from his first-hand experience of sharing the ring with Bivol in training. While he also knows sparring and fighting under the bright lights are different battles, Benavidez's time with Bivol has clearly left him feeling that he can exploit the gaps in Bivol's game. His confidence in knocking out a fighter as technically sound and disciplined as Bivol is not something many boxers would dare claim. But Benavidez's aggressive style and power give him a sense of advantage that he believes could overwhelm the calm and calculating Bivol. For Benavidez, Bivol's current reign at light heavyweight is impressive, but it doesn't make him unbeatable. Bivol may have become a consensus fighter of the year in 2022 after beating two elite fighters in Canelo Alvarez and Gilberto Ramirez. But in Benavidez's mind, he remains a challenge that can be conquered. Bivol's movement, how he fights, how disciplined he is, that's what makes him so good, Benavidez acknowledged. However, despite that respect, Benavidez is convinced that he has what it takes to crack that disciplined exterior. Benavidez has also been sizing up Artur Beterbiev, the division's other powerhouse and three-belt champion, a man known for his terrifying knockout power. At 38 years old, Beterbiev might be on the tail end of his career, but his performance against Anthony Yarde earlier this year showed that he's still a force to be reckoned with. Beterbiev stopped Yarde in the 8th round, maintaining his 100% KO record with 19 knockouts and 19 victories. But Benavidez is undeterred by Beterbiev's fearsome reputation. He sees vulnerabilities in the older fighter's style, weaknesses that he believes he can exploit. He leaves his body open a lot. You could really hit him with combinations, Benavidez observed, already plotting how he could break through Beterbiev's defenses. Benavidez isn't dismissing the challenge of facing Beterbiev. It's clear he understands the risk involved, but his confidence remains unshaken. It would definitely be an extremely tough task, Benavidez admitted. But he quickly added, I would want to go up to 175 and see how it is first before I go to the main guy. Benavidez's approach to moving up in weight is strategic. He knows the jump from 168 lbs, where he's currently a dominant force, to 175 lbs is significant. The extra weight means harder punches, tougher opponents, and a different level of physical challenge. But Benavidez is confident that he'll adapt quickly to the new division. I think at 175, I'm going to be even stronger and faster, he said, fully expecting that the additional muscle will enhance his already explosive power. However, before any of that happens, there were reports suggesting that his immediate next fight involves facing WBA regular light heavyweight champion David Morrell. While many fans were waiting for this potential clash, Benavidez then came in with another twist. He has now clarified that his next opponent will not be Morrell, but instead American veteran Jesse Hart. Speaking to TalkSport.com, Benavidez confirmed the news and laid out his plans for the upcoming fight scheduled for December. Jesse Hart is a well-known name in the boxing world, with a respectable career and a history of facing some top-tier opponents. Since his loss to Joe Smith Jr. in 2020, Hart has picked up 5 consecutive wins, slowly building momentum again. However, taking on Benavidez is undoubtedly a huge step up for him. Benavidez, in perfect form, is currently considered one of the biggest stars in the sport. The fight against Hart is important for Benavidez, not only to maintain his momentum, but also to keep his status with the WBC intact. A victory over Hart would also send a strong message to the light heavyweight division. Benavidez is determined to make a statement with a convincing win, preferably by knockout. He's aiming to demonstrate that his power and skill translate perfectly to the 175 lb division, just as they did at super middleweight, where he dominated opponents with ease. A stoppage win in December would be a clear signal to the likes of Bivol and Beterbiev that Benavidez is ready to compete at the highest level in the division. For Benavidez, the stakes are high. Not only does he want to secure his place in the light heavyweight hierarchy, but he also has bigger dreams beyond the Beterbiev-Bivol winner. The young fighter has made no secret of his desire to face Canelo. If I have all 4 major world titles at 175, in my head, that's the only way the fight's going to happen, David Benavidez explained. His strategy is simple. Win the undisputed championship at light heavyweight and become too big for Canelo Alvarez to ignore. With all 4 belts in hand, Benavidez believes he could offer Canelo the kind of challenge that would be impossible to turn down, perhaps even tempting the Mexican icon into a winner-take-all bout at a catchweight. Benavidez suggested the possibility of a fight where both fighters put their belts on the line, with his light heavyweight titles facing off against Canelo's super middleweight belts. It's an ambitious plan, but one that could potentially lead to one of the biggest showdowns in boxing history. For now, though, Benavidez' focus is on his upcoming fight with Jesse Hart. Winning that fight would put him one step closer to realizing his dream of becoming a two-division champion and setting the stage for even bigger opportunities. With the Beterbiev-Bivol fight looming, Benavidez knows that every performance matters. He's determined to keep proving himself, not just to fans and critics, but to the champions in his sights. His confidence is unwavering, and his drive to be the best is clear. While he is getting ready for Hart, Benavidez is watching closely as Bivol and Beterbiev prepare for their unification bout. He's not one to make predictions without leaving some room for uncertainty, acknowledging that until the two champions actually fight, no one can truly know who will come out on top. You can't really say who will win until they fight, Benavidez noted. However, when pressed for his opinion, he didn't hesitate to lean slightly toward Bivol. "I think Bivol could beat Beterbiev, though, to be honest," he said, pointing to Bivol's movement and discipline as the keys that might unlock a victory over the heavy-handed Beterbiev. But Benavidez isn't fixated on just one opponent. Whether it's Bivol or Beterbiev who emerges as the undisputed champion at 175 lbs, Benavidez believes he can beat either of them. It's not arrogance. It's confidence built from years of training, sparring, and fighting at the highest levels.